name is Carl Crackle, and I'm the International Director of the Road Riders for Jesus. I would like to thank you, first of all, for taking the time to view this video. I'm going to talk to you today about the SonRise ride. But before I get into the details of the actual ride, I want to share something with you about the inspiration of the SonRise ride. This vest that I have laying here on my desk belonged to a member who was one of our charter members of the Road Riders for Jesus. His name was Larry Smith, and he was a lonely biker who had lived the outlaw lifestyle. That we had met at a biker blessing one time and befriended Larry, and Larry joined up with us. It took several months before we were able to get Larry to come to church with us, but he finally gave in and joined us at church, gave his heart to Jesus, and got saved. The interesting thing about Larry is he was with us when we started the Road Riders for Jesus, and on the day that the first batch of our first back patches arrived, Larry was out at our house for a meeting and asked to purchase one of the patches, and Sally agreed that she would sew it on for him. And so Larry was actually the very first RJ member to wear the patch while out riding on his motorcycle. A few months after Larry had gotten saved, I received a phone call that they had found Larry laying on the side of a road, and when he was taken into the emergency room, the test showed that Larry was completely eaten up with cancer on the inside, and there wasn't much that any of the doctors could do for Larry. After just a few months, Larry did pass away, and it was on the ride home after doing Larry's funeral that I was inspired by the Holy Spirit to do something to reach out to more bikers like Larry. And this is why we have the SonRise ride, which eventually brought about our National Days of Praise rally. And I'm going to share with you some of the information about that in this next segment. In this segment, I would like to share with you about the actual SonRise ride and how it was designed and put together. The actual ride is a once-a-year event that we ask all of our RJ members and the chapters to get involved in. The ride itself takes place normally on the first Saturday of June each year. This ride is to be more than just a day of bringing in funds that will go to the national office. It's a day of riders coming together. We want it to be a spiritual event, a time of fellowship, and so our rides are encouraged to be those events where the riders from the chapter join together, ride to a destination, share a time of prayer for the national office and for the ministry, and then have a fellowship dinner together and enjoy the day riding together. So what can you do as an individual? There are two different incentive plans that we have available to get you involved in this. There are two forms that you will see that will be posted in both the Writers' Call, and we will be sending copies to all the chapters and the chapter presidents. The individual form is stated at the bottom that it is for the individuals, and the incentives are somewhat different. We offer ride pins, t-shirts, jackets, bike covers, and those sort of incentives to get you involved in raising funds for this ministry. Also, if you would prefer, you can do it as a chapter, and we have found that many chapters enjoy doing the fundraising as an actual group together because it's fun. It's an opportunity for them to be involved in something together, but also while they're out there doing the fundraising and wearing their colors, it gives them an opportunity to witness to other people and to talk to other people about our ministry. So doing the incentive work as a chapter can be a lot of fun. It can be a great event for your chapter to be involved in. Many chapters find that doing it as a chapter event is a lot easier than going out as individuals because it allows you to do things as a group, to raise funds. You can have fun with it. It's an opportunity to get some exposure to the public. Whenever you do fundraisers, there's always that opportunity to be able to tell someone about Jesus, an opportunity for you to wear your colors and tell people about the Road Riders for Jesus. So we do encourage every chapter, and it is vitally important that we have every chapter involved in this fundraiser for us. This is the one time a year that we raise funds to keep the national office going. In this segment, I would like to talk to you about the actual SonRise Ride event itself. This event takes place, and we encourage all of our chapters to be involved in this. It does take place on the first Saturday of June each year. Now I realize this is not a convenient date for everyone, so we don't lock you into this date, but we do encourage you to at least be involved in a SonRise ride. And if this date is not convenient for your chapter, you can schedule another day. The Road Riders for Jesus is no different than any other ministry or a church. it does take funds for us to continue to grow and survive. What do these funds go for? Well, first of all, let me explain this to you. No one at this time in this ministry receives a salary for their work that they do. This is my full-time job. This is what I do. My wife, Sally, also gives a lot of time and hours to the ministry each week. And we have our national evangelist who spends a lot of time doing ministry work for this, but no one receives a salary at this time. I will tell you that in the foreseeable future, we will have to probably hire some people because the ministry is growing to the point that it's almost become too overwhelming for Sally and I to continue to take care of the different office needs that are required. What do the funds go for? Well, these funds that come in for the SonRise Ride do accomplish a lot of different things for us. First of all, they give us the ability to have a ministry where no dues or membership fees are required. We never wanted this to be a deterrent for anyone to participate in the Road Riders for Jesus. And so there are no dues or membership fees like there are with most motorcycle organizations. Next, there's the magazine that we produce, The Rider's Call. This is sent to all of our members free of charge. And in addition to our members, this magazine is also sent out to a lot of businesses and individuals who are not a part of the Road Riders for Jesus. And like any other ministry or business or church, we have office expenses. We have to buy things like ministry insurance. We're required to pay charter fees to AMA. We're required to pay incorporation fees to the state. We also use these SonRise funds to provide the supplies for different events and booths where we set up to tell people about the Road Riders for Jesus. We also have to pay fees for copyright and trademarks to maintain those. And in addition to that, to keep our website going, we must pay a fee to our host that hosts our website. And also there are things like equipment replacement. Every now and then we have to replace a computer or laptops, photography equipment, or video camera equipment. These are all part of operating this ministry. I travel about 40 to 50,000 miles a year to get with the different chapters, to conduct training seminars, to help chapters get started. And it's very important that I am able to have my travel expenses paid for because I could not afford to do this on my own. Another benefit to bringing in the money for the SonRise Ride that is really a benefit to our members is the fact that this allows us to look into developing new merchandise and also to keep our merchandise costs to a minimum. That way you have that as a tool without paying exorbitant prices, and we want to continue to be able to do that. We did not design our Sally Sundry sales to support this ministry. Another plus to these funds and to your efforts and your work that you do is it allows us to provide startup materials for new chapters at no charge to them. This is a great deal of expense that we have spent thousands of dollars on, and we feel good that when somebody contacts us about starting a new chapter, we can supply these things to them free of charge to get them going. We are no different than a church or any other ministry. It takes funds for us to continue to grow. So it's important that you consider and prayerfully consider your involvement in this ministry. Well, I hope the information that you have just viewed about the SonRise Ride will inspire you and encourage you to be involved in this. We do ask that you prayerfully consider your involvement. It is vitally important that we have every chapter participate in this SonRise Ride. Every little bit does help. In order to keep this ministry growing, it does take funds, and we do have a desire for this ministry to continue to grow across the country of the United States, and we do have a desire for this ministry to continue to grow in other parts of the world. One other thing that we hope to do this year is to start a land purchase fund. We're hoping that we get enough funds coming in from the SonRise Ride to designate several thousands of dollars to go towards this. We need to purchase our own land. We need to start putting up our own facilities. It will allow us to do so much more as a ministry. So prayerfully consider your involvement in this, and I hope that I will see you at the next SonRise Ride. So God bless you, and thank you for taking the time to view this.